let's pick a random level of GDP. Okay? I'm going to start moving and somebody else stop, and that will be our random level. Stop. Okay. Thank you. I didn't want you to pick the equilibrium level. Okay. Here is Y, we'll call it YL for low. Okay? Literally, this experiment works at any level of GDP. If you happen to pick the equilibrium, it's nowhere near as exciting. Okay, now I need to warn you. Now, question. If this is our level of GDP, how much spending is going to go on in the economy? How do you tell? Jordan?
Don't you just go up?
You do. You go up to the spending line. Aha, look. If this is our GDP, or our income, this is how much spending is taking place. It's easy. It's letting the graph do the work for you. Okay? Now, what's the relationship between EP and Y? Are they equal? How do you know? There's an easy way. The easy way is to know that the 45-degree line always shows what your income is, by definition, see? So spending is greater than income here, or GDP. So what we say is, at Y, L, EP is greater than Y. Okay? In other words, think about this. Y is income, Y is GDP. Y is also total production. So at this income level, we are spending more than we are producing. We are spending more than we are producing. How can we do that? How can we buy at a faster rate than businesses are producing? What's the buffer that businesses use between what they're producing and what they're selling? It's inventories. That's the buffer. In any case, the reason why businesses carry inventories is because sometimes customers want to buy more than they're producing, and sometimes they don't. Inventories are the buffer so that their customers don't have to get annoyed when they want to buy something and it's not there. It's out of stock. Okay, but inventories are costly. Okay, so when customers are buying at a faster rate than businesses are producing, how do businesses realize that? What's the big signal? What happens to their inventories? They fall. Ding, ding, ding. That's a signal. We got a problem here. Potential problem. It's a good problem to have, actually. You know? But ultimately, it can be a serious problem if you don't get things back in sync. Okay? Now, people are buying faster than you're producing. How do you respond if you want to be successful as a business? There's two things you can do. What are they?
Get more stuff.
Produce more, right? And when you do that, how do you do that? How do you produce more? What do you need?
More labor.
More labor, okay? Either you hire more workers or you take your existing workers and you ask them to work more hours, right? Once again, note the tight linkage between employment and output. This is a good thing. What else can you do besides produce more in the very short term to help deal with this situation? You raise prices, yes. Raise P, raise Q. That's how businesses respond to a situation where spending is greater than production. And that's good for the business. That's a good place to be. Okay. Now, here's where we are, right? Here's where GDP is. But what we know is prices are starting to rise and output is starting to rise. When price goes up and output goes up, what happens to GDP? What's GDP?
The amount of stuff that we
The value of all final goods and services produced, right? Value is price times quantity. Price times quantity. What happens to GDP now? It grows. Boom, we're moving in that direction. How far does it go? Don't say until we reach equilibrium. Let's think about how far does it go? What's causing GDP to grow? What's causing that? The increase in price and quantity. What's causing the increase in price and quantity? The increase in demand. Okay? Or more precisely, the fact that spending is greater than production. Where do you see this difference on the graph? Well, spending is greater than production. This distance here is causing the dynamic to occur. Okay? So when GDP grows to here, are we done? No, because spending is still greater than production. So inventories will continue to fall, price will continue to rise, GDP will continue to go up. Okay? The process is very clear. The dynamics keep moving you to the right until when?
The fact that spending and wanting to demanding is still...
Spending and production are different, is driving everything. Okay? As GDP grows, that difference gets smaller. When the difference disappears, GDP stops moving. Y star. Okay? That's the equilibrium level of GDP, where Y equals EP. Okay? Once we're there, everything stops. The price stops rising, production stops increasing, the inventory stops falling, everything is stable. And that's what we want, to be in equilibrium. Now you probably could figure this out already, because we have a graph with two lines that intersect. And we know from our experience that X marks the spot, right? The original name for this graph was the Keynesian cross. Keynesian as in Mr. Keynes. And cross. It's kind of a weird shaped cross. Okay, so the income expenditure model used to be called the Keynesian cross model.